and Dolly is actually going round for fucking round. But after the first fight, after she felt them shits, she did not want to fight no more. Bitch, I don't give a fuck. Bitch, let's get that shit right now.
Hey y'all, this is your girl Freedom and welcome to my channel. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And you already know we back with another episode of Baddies Africa. Check it out.
And it's the bitch standing next to y'all. And what I tell you, here's the gag. She already told us that she said that.
So we starting off the episode with Tavy. She was like, I ain't with the ish. So what's up, Dolly? Let's go square up. So who do y'all think won the first round? Dolly, Bad Dolly, or Miss Tavy Baby? I think that Tavy Baby definitely gave a Bad Dolly run for her money. I think that Dolly definitely still whooped her because we definitely seen that black eye, but we definitely know that Tavy wasn't scary and she definitely was in the paint. We see Choco laughing, we see Lex laughing and stuff like that. Tavy really ain't got no supporters because of the stance that she took or whatever, but I realized that you really want a baboon in your life, okay? You really want a Big Ivory, okay? Because Big Ivory over here just giving that positive energy to her definitely changed the way that she was fighting, in my opinion. But once again, y'all, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let me know who do you think won this fight. Now, what I will say is that I'm surprised that Dolly never came after Natalie and said something about her chain, because the difference between Bad Dolly and DTB is the fact that DTB, no matter what the circumstances was, she always stood on business and always has said something to Natalie, and even for Natalie, for her respect, whereas Diamond kind of is kissing ass, in my personal opinion, okay? Now, y'all can say what she want, her being the cloud stage or whatever, but she still got her chain before you, girl. And so, Bad Dolly, you get the chain. And if y'all saw my other episode, I definitely said that I think that Natalie was going to give the chain to Fauna regardless, but it was just so freaking crazy, because everybody was whooping everybody, okay? These last two episodes was like definitely my favorite episode. Tavy versus Dolly again. Like, they at least had to have about 4 rounds. And yo, they was going blow for blow. Dolly hand looked crazy. Tavy is getting them hits in, Dolly getting them hits in, and it's all about the respect for the chain. But at the end of the day, when Dolly said, girl, that's my chain, that was not your chain. You supposed to get that from Natalie. Just like how TT did on Baddies Going Wild, you was supposed to do the same. So I can't respect that. And even the fact that Cold Killer has enough, respect for Tavy to be like, you know what, even though we fought multiple times, you deserve that chain, Dolly should feel the way, but that has nothing to do with Tavy though. So everyone is fed up. All the groups is fed up, and they like basically at this point, we need those chains back, or you're going home. It's simple. Give back the chain, or you're going home, and I want that. So Tavy ran up on her again, gave her another third round. You feel me? This kid getting knocked up, and I feel like these girls had to be drinking. Now in this one, Bad Dolly bit Tavy in the mouth, so Tavy spat back at her, but it was crazy. Security, we did not need another knockout on TV, respectfully, or allegedly. But she bit her lip or whatever. And so, yeah, that was like, and she was like, yeah, I almost bit your face. And it's like, Dolly could fight. So it was just like, to see her just swimming, it was wild. It was wild work. And Dolly, you over here acting scary, considering that Summer came back. You was all that bark and talk and stuff. You could have had a good chance to actually be cool back with the girls. But y'all didn't want to do it. I don't know why, but y'all would have been cute together. But okay, cool. And then my whole thing is that I seen this video of Bad Dolly dancing and twerking on people, and this girl was hugging all up on her and stuff. And I was like, so if you accepted that, you definitely could accept the Ivory over here with that little tap or whatever. But hey, so we already was told that, some people was up for eliminations. They was told LCK was warned and Russian Cream was warned that there would be people that would be going home. So now it has to be a squabble. Summer's like, the last time I was here, I had a problem with a couple of you bitches. And in the midst of that, Tavy go back up to Dolly and round number 4, fade number 4, back to back to back. Like, Dolly is tired now. Tavy like, I'm on that. I need that. And I gotta have that. And I fucking love Tavy. And Pretty P and the rest of the girls is like, well, Natalie, you the CEO, so are you gonna hold somebody accountable? Because if it's not you, then who? And then K Rican rushes up on Summer right by Lex. Lex, man, it was just crazy. Everybody was whooping everybody. And then LCK calls out uh, Cold Killer, and got her butt whipped. Now this one, I would definitely give it to K Rican. But seeing Summer, I would honestly say Summer has improved as a fighter for real. I don't think she get washed. Like when she first came on the season, she was, but I feel like her being around heavy hitters now, she definitely gotten way better at fighting. You feel me? But now it's mostly about alliances, in my opinion. So if you got a good alliance, then you good. But I think that Choco also missed out on having a good alliance too, because you had all that time to get to know Ivory and stuff like that. You could have really made your own alliance, even with LC, and been on the team. But you just stuck with the African thing, and nobody was messing with LC. So it's kind of like you kind of put yourself in a little box. But Rolly, she becomes like the godmother, the OG godmother. She's like telling Dolly, like, listen, I don't want you to go home over a chain. You went too far over a chain. You already proved your respect, so just get back the chain. So, you know, the chain is finally given back, okay? After all these rounds. And Cold Killer is just like, listen, win, lose, or draw, big, lose, small, whatever, get in that field. But if a bitch deserve it, her chain, let her keep her chain. You feel me? Like, don't be a hater on that, because everybody should get their own chain, which is what I do respect. So Rolly and Bad Dolly to go upstairs, and she hit the chain. She gave her back the chain. And as we all know, Bad Dolly is fragile, y'all. So she's injured reserved. Like I say, Jay, pull the lever. It cracked me up. I can't wait for the baddies go wild reunion for real on another note. But anyways, back to the episode. All right, so K Regan is like, listen, bitch, I need that. I want that. I gotta have that because Russia Cream, you was talking a little bit too much when I was in the bathroom. You said you needed that. I want that. Run up. She was like, no, but I'm injured. I don't want to hear that bitch because when I was sick, and I said I ain't want to squabble after I fought all those fades. You sat there and was kicking down the door like, what's up, acting all tough. So I give it to K Regan. K Regan ain't scary. She went to the field, but Russia Cream surprised me with that broken arm. Man, she whacked on K Regan like it was nobody business. K Regan, K Regan. K Regan is funny. She like that best friend that like always hype you up. She down for whatever type of time you on, they on, And I rocks with her. And in the midst of that, y'all they go for round number two. So who you feel like won? Do you feel like K Rika won the first round and then she lost the second round, or do you feel like Russia Cream won both rounds? But let me know. Drop y'all comments down below because I would love to hear from y'all for real, for real. Yes. But I definitely give it to Russian. I think Russian did that, and Summer was like, "Okay, you beat that ass, Russian." And and Russian Kate Rican is like, "She ain't do shit, bitch. She ain't do shit." But she did though. I ain't gonna lie. Russia Cream definitely did her big one. She was like, "I ain't going home neither." And Summer was like, "Please show me your baddest bitch." Like, oh my god, I definitely miss Summer, but y'all, I wish that y'all could have made more friends because this was like so crazy. And then y'all acted like y'all was getting picked on, but y'all was the one that instigated the fight. Make no sense. Dolly, man, over here, Tavia already nodded up. Rolly's tired of both of these bitches. And this is the part where they about to expose the actual video where her over here saying that Summer Dolly and Lex was ugly. And she said she didn't remember, but this was obviously like for you to be like you don't like them and then nobody's looking for you, but then you really was around them saying that they were prettier. Like, girl, that's how you really felt. You should send 10 toes down on that. Like, bitch, I win, lose, or draw, bitch. That's how I felt at the moment. But I fuck with y'all. I know y'all pretty or whatever. Like, you could have been like that Russian, but you scary. You scared of Lex. You scared of how she's gonna do you in based on how she was doing everybody else, and that's why you ain't help in when Tavy did it. Because if it was Elsie versus Tavy and she disrespected you, you would have definitely hit. You would have hit Elsie if you didn't have a chance to go home. But if you had a chance, if you had to go home to fight Big Lex, you wouldn't have gotten that feud. You wouldn't have gotten that field. You was already scared of Rosie. So let's really clock it. So LCK knows she going home. So now she want to go to Cold Killer and get a storyline. Now I do understand where Cold Killer coming from. Like, LC, bitch, you waited to the last minute to basically know when you're going home to say something because you could have been got that fade days ago. Touche, bitch. Touche, bitch. Touche. However, for her to keep her points, she still got on the field with you. So win, lose, or draw, like you said, KK, she still did that. So I was to have to give her her big one, clock it. Okay. And I normally don't really favor Elsie, but I'm gonna let her get a pass. All right. And another reason why I didn't like Elsie was because my whole thing is that You let Russia Cream come up on you and sneak you in this episode. But then when it came to last week, the next episode, you sat there and didn't have that same energy for Russia Cream. How come you didn't sneak her, but you snuck Cold Killer after you already fought fades? Y'all already fought y'all fades in this episode already. So for you to keep on saying I want to fade, I want to fade, that's because that's the only person that you know is smaller than you on the show that you think you can take down. And to be honest with you, Cold Killer actually got those hands. It's just that she just got bigger opponents, so she really knocking you really in. You feel me? But in the midst of them over here trying to separate their fight, you know what I'm saying? Fauna trying to protect, you know what I'm saying? K Rican, because K Rican is over here trying to protect Cold Killer, and then Big Lex is trying to stop it. So now we got Fauna versus Big Lex. But who do you think won, Fauna or Big Lex? First of all, they dropped my baby. Hold up, you dropped my baby. Okay. Okay. She ain't deserve that. But everybody came up and went behind Hafana. And that's when you kind of see like, all right, there's certain people that the whole house would jump for against the big three versus that. So they made themselves the big three. But definitely like I will say that the small three is similar to the big three in some ways. But Fauna, she definitely still got in the field. You can tell she's very athletic. She held her own, but she did get dropped by Lex. So we're gonna have to give that to Big Alex. I'm gonna give it to Big Alex. Okay. I ain't gonna be biased. I ain't gonna be biased, even though I love Fauna. I ain't gonna lie. That's my baby. And I really did like Big Lex too. It's just the fact that I just feel like Big Lex should be picking and choosing sometimes. And I do feel like even with the new girls, like the way that y'all came in, I feel like y'all really became the bullies that you felt like Tasiki and everybody else was. And so, and Jalen and everybody else was. So I really can't respect that. And you too cool for that, and you too pretty, you too bad of a bitch, so you ain't have to do that. But we have Cold Killer and Elsie again, you know what I'm saying? And all LCK do is just grab people and stuff like that, and it's really annoying. But Cold Killer got a small head and a tight ball cap, so she was able to duck and dodge and weave. And she's like, Cold Killer, you, Elsie, come. And she was like, who, me? Mock. Yeah, fuck out of here, bitch. We not doing that, bitch. I don't know if I sound like her, but her personality is so fucking funny. Lex is like, yeah, let's go again. Fauna, yeah. So they going up again. They going up again. And I tell you, goddamn, the first hit, everybody was like, ooh. I was like, goddamn. And I'm like, every swing, Lex big arm ass, long arm ass bitch. Damn. Everybody else got smaller arms. You just see the force, and you be like, God damn. But you see a Big Lex practice in her videos, you be like, hey, I don't know if you want to mess with the basketball girls. I don't know if you want that. But, you know, Fauna, like I said, she never scary. She win, lose, or draw. She in the paint. And even then, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a slight loss. You feel me? Because I still love my baby, though. So everybody's sitting here watching this stuff. And you could kind of tell, I think, like at this point, like who really likes who's really messing with who or whatever. But they're just like, dang. And then, you know, like I said, the heaviest hitter on their team is Lex, for real. Lex, I don't know what happened, but Lex could definitely be Ivory. Like this season, this Lex in this season versus the other season, I can't imagine they be on for a third season. Taseki, you better come back before people take your spot, girl. And of course, we got Natalie ass talking about, does anybody want to get something off their chest? And of course, Elsie said, I heard a little rumor saying I was going to go home. And bitch, I ain't going home. I ain't going nowhere. And everybody was like, bitch, yes, you are. You're going home. And Rolly was like, the only reason why I feel like you, Elsie, should go the fuck home is because when your friend Tavy Baby was getting jumped, you didn't do nothing about it. And LCK was like, that was not my friend. But she was your friend when she took those fades. And you lied and said that you got jumped in the first season, the first episode, because you did not get jumped because the cameras didn't catch it, so it didn't happen. She was a good enough friend then, but she's not good enough friend now. But the only reason why you felt that way, just like rushing cream in y'all hearts, y'all scared, and y'all know that I ain't want to get beat up by Lex. Yeah, I mean, and even if they beat y'all up, that still would be bullying, but we still would have called y'all out for it. At least we would have been like giving y'all props. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. But you know, Rolly is like, these bitches gotta go. Russian K is injured reserve. LCK like Michael Jackson with no makeup. She don't know. They both don't serve no looks. I'm like, God damn. But she was like, I ain't going home. How you gonna take an African home? I'm from Africa. And as soon as that happened, guess what happened? Russia Queen was like, Mock, Mock. Smoke on her so damn fast. She didn't have no time to react. Everybody was like, God damn. And Summer was trying to break them up and stuff like that. But it was at that point just too damn funny. LCK did what K Rican couldn't do, which was take her ponytail out And it was up. It's about to be a what? A girl fight. About to throw them bows. And that's what was going on this whole damn episode. Nothing but bows being thrown. But they still stayed on the show, and they treated LCK better than they treated that other girl, the white girl that was Rolly's assistant, which is crazy, and she was a OG. But I guess we'll see more unfold or whatever. But Russian cream to me is pussy ass scary ass bitch, because you knew what you said, and I rather respected you telling. I rather you have told them before you overheard people saying that they had the video, than for you to wait till the video came out and people was already talking about watching it. The only people that was late to watching the video was only because they wanted to show production at. Other than that, girl, you said that you heard Marissa having a conversation, then sat there and said it had something to do with, I don't know, Cole Killer, but it has something to do with Fauna. What? You know who was in the video, girl, because you was in their video, girl. Stop playing scary ass. Oh. Um, but DTB, that's my girl. She looked the fuck good. I love the hair and stuff like that. But everybody's kind of fed up with each other. I think like Fauna got a little bit of something busted in her mouth or something like that. But Lex was over here saying that Fauna ain't cute, and I don't know where the fuck she got that from. That's why I was like, I don't know what's going on with Big Lex this season or whatever. But girl, you are a consequence to your the choices of your actions, because you have chosen. First off, you should have checked Dolly when Dolly was bullying people. Y'all didn't have to bully nobody to stay on the show. Y'all could have had that little food fight. Then y'all probably could have just squashed it and had a fun time, but you ain't do that. Y'all every time y'all kept on bullying the girls. So now that Summer is back, they got to be on all 10, and now you got a group of 6 instead of a group of a trio versus trio versus trio is a group of whatever sextuplets versus a group of whatever quadruplets. I don't know what you call it, a triplets. You feel me? So it's her. And Big Lex is basically saying that bitch, Scotty, who the fuck are you talking about? When your bitch Natalie called you ugly, you still stood by your bitch. But when she called me ugly, oh, I can't just be cool with her. And it's like, but why would you want to be? You ain't be cool with nobody else. You ain't let nobody else in your group. So you want to let the only girl in your group that called y'all ugly? That doesn't make no fucking sense. And Marissa wasn't even doing nothing to y'all. Y'all could have sat there and chilled with Marissa. That was just another prime example. But Summer started it. So it's like, let's put ourselves in those positions. But we see Marissa sitting here squabbling. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like every attack that they had, it was a miss and a hit and a miss and a hit. But the way Marissa arms was swinging so fast in the camera, you could see everybody's reaction. Big Lex and everybody was like, God damn, Marissa, LCK, everybody, even Cold Killer. It was like, God damn. So they started clapping for Marissa because they was kind of surprised, like, okay, little shorty, you actually got a little bit of hands or whatever. Like, all right, cool. Like, you know what I mean? And Ivory to me is really the ringleader. Her and the Big Lex, as far as like being an intermediary with everybody. But I feel like the only reason why Big Lex messed it up is because she was so fixated on stopping LCK from the other fight with Fauna and K Rican that you didn't even have to interrupt that, because at the end of the day, LCK called out that fade. And then LCK admitted it to y'all on the Springer bus that, oh, the person that started that whole entire situation was Russian Cream when it came to Coke Killer or Tavy. So it was like you could have definitely just squashed that. But of course you didn't want to go home. So I get it, but you know what I mean? But there's a lot of picking and choosing, a lot of picking and choosing. So we don't see who touched her face. So Big Lex is basically saying that Fauna, oh, you look a mess. And Scotty touched her face and was like, no, you don't. So Fauna, my baby, was like, yes. And Scotty starts twerking, and then Big Lex was like, that's all you got is body. That's all you got is body. And it's like the way she was looking at her, I'm like, child, if the cameras wasn't there, child, you would have hunched. Talking about what you mean you a hater, because every time the camera's down, bitch, you always trying to be in my face. But it's like, why would you not want to be in Fauna's face? Fauna's a cool ass bitch. Like, make it make sense. And she only doing what you doing because she needs to be on the show. But sometimes there's certain girls that are pretty, but they might feel like other girls is in competition with them. So they might just maybe be just on the liquid courage and have a little jelly. But Tavy Baby definitely went up in between and snuck Dolly again, and Dolly gave her back her chain. That shit was hella funny. I was like, Tavy is funny. She was like, bitch, fuck the chain. And that was about the principle, bitch. Yo, I swear for God, like, I actually started learning to like Tavy, because Tavy actually stand on her business, and she's a loner, and she don't have to be in the clique to be like, Tavy got her own style. Tavy from New York. We have a top. So we already be killing the game. So we already know. And I see you, sister. I see you from my brother sister. So you got it. You got it, Tavy. Um, Summer Dolly and Lex and stuff like that, they're over here doing their thing. LCK is being nosy and stuff. They ain't got no click, so they're now, I guess, a part of the big three or whatever. Um, and it was just crazy. Everybody got to go out. They got to go sit in pretty. I think Cold Killer is very gorgeous. I think her looks, her makeup. I think she is really, really pretty. LCK, I still feel like she could have did a little bit more on the episode or whatever. And I still don't think that she really fits in as a baddie, in my opinion. Like, she has a nice body, but I don't know. What do you think? Do y'all like LCK on the show? Let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.
I'm gonna get this bitch for you.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's DTP, the people's favorite bitch, giving you the people's elbow hoe. And I was like, that was hella effing funny. That cracked me up. And that, like, Diamond really had MVP for me on this episode because that shit was fucking funny. Also, I'll give it to Dolly because Dolly fought her phase and her Ivory don't go wrong. So I'll give that to her. And then my whole thing was that I noticed that even though Summer said she acted like she didn't like Ivory, she was like, "Oh, get your freaky ass on," and she did say that when Bad Dolly lied and said, "Oh yeah, Ivory said fuck you." She was like, "I ain't hear her say that." I know she didn't hear her say that because she had her ass bent over on you, shaking her ass. Big Ivory was shaking her ass with Summer in front of Dolly. I think Dolly got jealous. And so that's why she really hit her for real because Summer was touching all up on Big Ivory. And I was like, what the hell? What the hell, y'all think? So if y'all noticed that and seen that, go back, let me know. But that definitely did happen because I had to use my two eyes, okay? But Summer basically was like, Diamond, you not even a WWE wrestler and you not even a motherfucking baddie. Like, who the fuck she think she is? And that shit was just so fucking funny. I'm so sorry. But Dolly was just like, y'all seen what she did? And that shit, like, even though she did that for like once, she started doing the hand thing, like, eat it up, eat it up. And you could have definitely just shifted that, you know what I'm saying? Because Diamond the Body was just shaking her ass on the stage and Summer was touching on DTB. So even though y'all all might not like each other, I feel like you was really holding on to the fact that everybody was laughing or whatever and was hyping each other when Marissa fought you. But come on now, like, for you to push Ivory in down like that was crazy. So this causes Ivory to crash out, but she was really on the look, and I think she was on the look when they fought in the house. So by that time to the house,
Dance with her, like choke her, but dance with her. Bitch, is you cool?
but I think at the same time it's like you kind of dig her overboard because you kind of knew that she was drunk and that she was trying to have fun with you though. You feel me? And you was the one that went up to her and said that you wanted peace. Like if you never said that, I probably would have been like, yeah, you're right. But once you did that, I was kind of like, why are you doing that? And then if you was going to say I never really liked you, then you shouldn't act like that because she did that for everybody. Big Lex did the same thing as well. So Ivory is like, I'm gonna get that ant booty bitch, and then Dolly said, I'm gonna get this big neck, big back bitch, and it was up. So who do you think won this fight? Bad Dolly versus Big Ivory. I definitely love Ivory, but I fear Dolly 8. But what is y'all thoughts? Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And thank you for tuning in. Peace.